wow, it is an interesting night. It's beautiful out here in the ATL. Everything's gorgeous. It's cold as a mofo. It was cold as hell last night. We have an incredible cast on for you guys tonight. Our co-host of the show, our guests are amazing. So we've got Take 1% or Nomads from Renegade Motorcycle Club. We got Dollar Bill from the, or rather Dollar from the legendary East Bay Dragons Motorcycle Club. We got Danny D'Lo.
What up?
We got Big Bone, 1%er from the legendary Outcast Motorcycle Club, man. And we got myself, Black Dragon, from the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation. It's good to see you all, man.
What's going on, people? What's going on, brother?
Yeah. Man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I just really appreciate having you guys. Okay, so wow, I hit the wrong applause button, man. But I'll be glad when it's like that for real, though. But anyway, man, check this out. So, you know, I just started on TikTok, and I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Danny D'Lo. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Shout out. I had 36 subscribers, something like that.
How many you got?
Started crying. Danny put me on blast on TikTok. I got 21,000 subscribers in 4 weeks, so I'm really pretty happy about that. Almost 2 million views now.
Congratulations.
Views, man. I appreciate that.
That's awesome, man.
But TikTok is different because if you are used to like slapping a mofo in the mouth for talking crazy to you, you don't need to open up a TikTok channel.
Nope. Nope. You'll be in your feelings real quick.
Because those cats on TikTok, man, they just, there's no respect, man. It comes from all ends. But I saw this on TikTok and I made a little quick video about it. We're going to look at this video. This guy burns his colors on international TikTok. And so I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about this and seeing kind of what you guys think about it. And you know, my theme tonight is the colors belong to the club. And I think, you know, I really think some people don't know that or aren't taught that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys this, and then we're going to come back for some opinions. So here we go. Oh, hold on. Let me start it at the beginning. Hold on.
It's been a blaze. Bro, my social media has been ablaze with this one. All day long, you guys have been sending me this. I guess a guy is burning his colors on international TikTok for the world to see. And I have to agree with you all. This is probably the sleaze bag biker move of the week. Let's check it out.
All right. Okay. All punches. Right. In. On the sides.
Man, that was crazy, wasn't it? And I don't believe this guy probably ever has worn a military uniform in his life, because we just, you know, the way we feel about flags and colors and things like that. I just, you know, I hoisted the flag every day, damn near, for a military career, bro. This is not something that I could ever get into. But I don't blame him. You guys think I blame him? I don't blame him. I blame the organizations. I blame the set. You know, you guys are so thirsty for numbers. I bet if you check their prospecting time in that RC, it probably wasn't much. I bet if you check out how old that RC was, it's probably not very old. They're just so thirsty for numbers and numbers and numbers. The dominance or blessing in these clubs. It's just sad. We're watching our norms and values and traditions disappear based on people that don't have the education, the maturity, the wherewithal to understand the, no, you didn't get those things delivered to you by Flame. You got them in a meeting where you were happy to get them. That's how you turn them back. You go back to church and turn them back in. But if they're not given this instruction, you guys are so hungry, you bring anybody in the club. And the reason we know you'll bring anybody in the club is this guy just told his wife to shut the fuck up on international TikTok. She's apologizing like she did something wrong and she's about to get her butt whooped. He said, shut the fuck up. So, yeah, that's the Sleazebag Biker of the Week award, if you ask me.
Well, so let me see. Let me get rid of this. Boom. Bring the guest back on and unmute everybody. Boom, boom, boom. I really need an engineer. This is sick. Hey, guys, what did you think?
Whoa.
We'll start with you, Dollar, since you're the new guy. First of all, man, it's such a pleasure to have the mighty East Bay Dragons on this show. Just I grew up as a prospect, man, in y'all's backyard, coming up, riding my bike up there to see y'all on the run. We used to go up every year, and you guys would block off the street, and just everything about you guys was legendary. Even Oakland, where you come from, I remember the first time I drove up there. I rode my bike up there. These two guys were having a shootout on the street, and all the cops was chasing them down the street. And I had seen that sort of thing before, but what blew me away, and I'll always tell the story, what messed me up was that although they were shooting down the street and there was 10 cop cars and there was two cars shooting at each other, everybody walking down the street was walking down the street like, oh, ho-hum. Like nobody ducked and dodged. That's when I knew I was in a tough neighborhood. So
yeah, East Oakland. East Oakland, baby.
So yeah, that was something else. So hey, man, welcome to the show. And another thing is, you guys came out and rode out this summer and hung out here at the Dragon's Lair, man, and it was a great pleasure to have you guys and the Chosen Few and the Defiant ones. And oh my God, man, that was the most amazing, called the Legacy Run. You guys are going to do that again next year, so we want to make sure you talk about that on the show a little bit later tonight. We want to give you
next month, actually, Dragon.
Next month?
Yeah, it's every year. Remember, it's been a year since we saw you.
Was it a year?
Yes, it's been a year. Next month it'll be a year.
Yep. April.
Yep.
You guys came out in April.
Yep.
Damn. Okay. All right. That's me. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Let's talk about your reaction from that you just saw.
Well, I can only speak from from a Dragon's perspective. I'm with you on that. Our colors here at the Dragons are totally owned by the club, and there's certain things that we aren't allowed to do, that we can't do, we won't do. Especially, first of all, let's just take why would you even want to be a part of something that you would disrespect like that? For one, if it's that bad, you should never probably even want to be a part of it in the first place. I love being a Dragon. I love everything about being an East Bay Dragon, and there's no way that we would allow anyone to disrespect our colors like that. And I'm sure the other gentlemen on the show also probably share that the same feelings. But it's totally disrespectful. Like you said, in our club, even if you leave the club and you're not in good standing, you have to give up your colors. So even if you leave the club, you might come join the club and you stay here and something happened and you get kicked out, well then you got to get them colors up. You know, so because the colors do belong to the club. The club, you own the vest, the club owns the colors.
Amen. That's cool, man. Cake 1%er, man. Tell us what did you see? What did that mean to you?
Oh man, that kind of like broke my heart. I mean, I'm angry about the situation. It's not even my thing. But the first thing I like to hit up on was one thing that I've been trying to get you to talk about on the show was about the dominant club doing that kind of stuff. A lot of people don't understand when you burn your rags, that could be considered a federal offense. You know, and a lot of these clubs that start out, they don't register or DBA, so they'll say, "Oh, it belongs to the club." But if you don't have any balance on that or any grounds to say that it belongs to you or to the organization, people just get disrespected. But it's basically the way you receive your rags is the way you're gonna give those rags back. So if they was easy to give, they're gonna be easy to give back.
Oh, I think what I think what you're saying is if you go get those colors, like many folks are going to say that they do, if you go and make it your business to get those colors, you could be running into a federal offense. Is that what you're saying?
It's both. Both. Clubs that feel like they can patch police and things like that, yes, that is considered kidnapping, technically, and it could be held under the RICO law. But as far as somebody burning rags and stuff like that, if they are registered and they really belong to the club, you can have charges pressed against you for destroying copyrighted material.
Right. I appreciate you, man. Danny D'Lo, what did you see, man? And how did that affect you? What did you think about that?
You know what? So first of all, I've watched that club that we're talking about. I know what club that is. It's they're like a riding club of like bikers against woman abuse or something like that. And I've watched them on TikTok recruiting people for about 6 months now. I've seen them off and on popping off, trying to get members and stuff like that. So that's what it boils down to. I mean, if you out here giving colors away like candy, I mean, what'd you expect? Did you really expect somebody to respect those colors? Did you really expect anybody to even respect your club? And I've watched this, so it boils down to that. I mean, if you on the internet recruiting members to try to get numbers, like you said in your video, Dragon, that's what's gonna happen. Ain't nobody gonna have no respect for that. They didn't earn it. They didn't work for it. They didn't. Nothing came from it. It was just straight handed to you. So you're gonna have that. And like you said about the dominance, giving the blessings and stuff like that, it boils down to that too. The dominants aren't doing what they really should be sometimes, which of course the law is kind of getting away of dominants doing their thing, you know. But people don't get the blessings, and I mean, it's the whole thing is just messed up, man. And when I see that, I'm like, it don't really affect me because it ain't my club. Now, if it was somebody in my former club doing that, I'd be all types of upset. But it's a riding club that started on the internet, so it started off meaning nothing to me.
Exactly.
Big Bone, 1%, man. Thank you so much for always being on the show and having my back and helping me out with this, man. I really appreciate you as always. Talk to me, brother. What's going on here?
Well, it's I'll tell you what. It's kind of to kind of piggyback a little bit on what Danny just said. With a club like that, first of all, you wonder, hey, what kind of a club is this really? Are they recognized? Are they not recognized? Are they a real club? And that's the thing that some people really don't get, because anybody can go to eBay or whatever, order them a patch and so on and so forth, right? But when you've got a club that's supposedly an established club that came on the set the right way, that was blessed the right way and all like that. So let's say, for example, that this is a real club that we're talking about. If it's a real club and each member earned their way into that club and they earned that patch, kind of like was already echoed a little bit. I'm going to echo what was already said, is that if you put in some time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears by which to earn the respect of that organization and to earn your right to wear that patch, you're not going to disrespect it like that. Even if you have an issue with the club or you had a falling out or you don't like that one guy over there or whatever like that, you should still have, in theory, you should still have a certain amount of respect for the organization, which on day one you said you wanted to be a part of,
Right.
right? So if and this conversation comes up a lot. I've heard it. I've even said it to people before. You need to love your club more than you hate that man over there, because that patch is a symbol of that club that at one point you loved.
Right.
So if you get it confused, if you confuse some guy in the club or those guys over there that you're mad at them, and that patch means so little to you that you could burn it, then the question becomes, did they choose the right member on day one? Because I don't give a damn what happens if you decide that you're gonna be disrespectful to the point where you're gonna burn that flag, those colors. Then that needs to be looked into a little bit more. Like I don't agree with everything that happens in my country, but I don't believe in burning the flag. That's me. I served my country. I was a Marine. You were in the Navy, and we can go on and on with that. But you won't catch me burning the flag just because I don't like the bad treatment that cops do, or a bunch of other stuff. You won't catch me burning the flag because it's my flag. It's my flag. Anyway,
Right.
that's all I got on that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you were in the Marine, but we
He's still
we
Navy. He's still part of the Navy.
no, but we listen, man. So
Men's
let's
Department
do
of
this.
the Navy.
Yeah. Yep. First to try, first to die. Go on out there. We'll give you a ride. But anyway, we listen. I don't know why we're doing this. I started it. I'm sorry. So let's do this. Let's do some education, okay? Because I have to believe that. First of all, this is a 10-year-old organization. The national president came onto my TikTok and he acknowledged, yeah, this happened, and I said, man, I hate that for you, national, because it's hard sometimes to to there's always one in every club. There's always one, but a lot of this are, and so this is supposed to be. This is an RC. The national said it was 10 years old. He also said, I've also heard from folks like Danny that this is an RC that actually protects women that are bullied, and so it has a good cause. It's an RC. A lot of people denigrate RCs. Oh, they didn't have a real patch. It looked like a real patch to me. It didn't have a state rocker or anything like that, but it was a real enough
Right.
patch, a brotherhood that they had going on, a sisterhood that they had going on, and really in this patch you had several people in this video, or several patches that were burned. That's just the one that I took, but I have to believe that maybe in this thing that we're doing to all of these sets are so hungry to bring people on. So I want to have a few conversations with you guys to get some education out. That's what this is supposed to be. That's what it started out as. So I'm going to put something out and I want something from each of you back. So I'm going to say the colors belong to the club. I'm going to start with you, Cake. 1%er, please elaborate on that, rather.
As far as the rags belonging to the club,
Yes, sir.
true indeed. If there is like I said, if there's an establishment where the colors are registered and it's an official club, yes, they do belong to the club or to the nation. But as fact of somebody just throwing some rags together, because I don't understand this ordeal where it's a national club. Is this a United States club or is this a cross seas club? Let me get the understanding of that first.
When we say national, we normally mean in the States.
Okay, when you said it was on international TikTok, so I was trying to
Well, yeah,
get.
TikTok is international. When you do it on
Okay,
TikTok, the world sees it. But
okay.
this was a national club, yeah, from what I
Well,
understand.
well, basically, where I need to start off about this whole situation because I've always had a problem with it. These clubs running around here saying that they're dominant, and when you giving these clubs these patches. I don't agree on like car clubs and this RC club and all these other different organizations, these social clubs wearing patches, because now you're starting to put that argument of that minor stuff, you start to bring that over here to the table where it doesn't belong. Now you're putting that headache and heat, and we're having a conversation about this instead of having a conversation about something real. And when these dominant clubs, quote unquote dominant clubs, give these blessings, they're not showing their dominance by educating what's supposed to happen on the set as far as disciplining and how a club is supposed to carry themselves. So when you mix those two things together, it always starts off bad. Always starts off bad because you want to be the dominant, but you don't want to take the time to educate. And that's where we're running into the problems with all of these different clubs.
All right. I'm going to throw the same
Amen.
for you, Dollar. The colors belong to the club.
Totally, like totally. And I kind of agree with what the gentleman said earlier about. I think it boils down to how you like he had mentioned that the particular club in question is like inviting members and stuff like that. And yeah, when when you go out and you do something like that, then yeah, you're gonna get people that really don't respect the colors. They don't respect they don't respect the patch. They don't respect the club. You know, in a situation like us, the Dragons, for instance, we only have one chapter because our president felt like that. Of course, over the years, we like why we only have one chapter. Well, Toby Jean felt like that. He wanted to know all of the members. He wanted to have a relationship with each individual, and he would express that if we opened up other chapters, then we would be, people from other states or whatever that we may not know or we don't know anything about in other states. So it's kind of the same concept. I think, like what the gentleman said, if people are just going out, accepting anybody, not screening members, soliciting for members, then you're gonna get that type of disrespect. And the club totally owns the patch. Period. Like our club, like we come into this understanding that at some point, if your situation is not correct, that you could get a knock on the door and someone will be telling you, hey, run those colors. So, I agree with you on that. Totally, totally, they do belong to the club.
Danny D'Lo, I'm going to give you this. The patch belongs to the colors belong to the club. And what should happen with those suckers? Every time, what should happen with everything that you have when you leave the club?
Well, yeah, absolutely. The colors always belong to the club. I mean, regardless if there's paperwork involved or not, like Keiko saying, I'm a firm believer. If you get your colors, man, obviously they belong to the club. They don't belong to you just because you paid for them. Technically, don't mean they're yours. The one thing I want to say too, though, is if you're gonna quit a club or what, plain and simple, if you're gonna quit a club, I don't be a bitch about it. Don't burn them. Don't mail them in. Don't do none of that. Be a man. Bring them to your table. Lay them down on the table. Explain why you're leaving the club, and state your business. Say what you got to say, and walk out with your head up high like a respectable man. I've heard of people mailing their colors in, which I think is soft as hell. Um, you know, Guys like this ain't the first time we've seen somebody burn their colors, um, or give them to one of their bros that they're cool with. Say, here, man, take them in for me, man. I'm done. Screw everybody. I'm mad. If you're gonna quit your club, you go to your church and you express how you feel, whatever the feeling may be, why you mad, why you leaving, whatever the situation is, and you lay them down for your brothers, and you give everybody a hug, and you walk out, or you may get told get the hell out of here, whatever the case may be, but be a man. If you went into that club being a man, go out that club being a man. Be respectable, man. Don't just throw them away like they didn't mean nothing to you. You know.
Right.
And the other thing, like I had heard somebody say earlier, about shit, I forgot. Never mind. Go ahead, man.
Hey,
I'm
hey,
getting old.
can I just say something about that? For what
Hold on, Kate. We come right back to you. Let me finish the panel off.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to give this to you, Bone. The colors belong to the club, and what happens when you leave the club with the colors?
Man, that's a fun question. So two things about that. So I actually just had somebody reach out to me recently about that. There was a guy from a different club, and they're a national club too. But this certain national club, the guy reached out to me because he's going through whatever he's going through, and he's come to the decision that he wants to leave his club. And he had questions for me, much like we're talking about how should he do it, this, that, and the other thing. Now, he did not say anything about burning the club, burning the colors, or anything like that. But he's like, man, I ought to throw these things away. And he literally said, I ought to throw these things away and put them in. I'm like, hey, look, first thing I said was, those we say rags, colors, some people say cuts, but I'm like, hey, those rags don't belong to you. I'm like, don't matter how long you had them or how long you didn't have them. They don't belong to you. That's the property of the club. And you're going to create a whole other situation by doing something disrespectful to those colors because for whatever reason, you guys didn't work that shit out. So there's that. The part two, something that you didn't think about, or well, I won't say you didn't think about it, but something that comes up with a lot of clubs is, yeah, you're turning in, if you do it properly, you're going to, like Danny D'Lo said, give them back the same way you got them. But if you're giving those back, and guess what? Let's say you're a club and you have properties, you have some POs, and you've got some jewelry, and you've got some soft colors, T-shirts for those of us that aren't on the set. You got some T-shirts, and you got some hats, some shoes, some freaking bandanas, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Guess what? All of that stuff goes back to the club. Anything that has the club's name on it, that goes back to the club because that's not your property neither. I don't give a damn if you bought that stuff over the past 15 years, bouncing around and going to this thing and that thing and the other thing. Guess what? All of that stuff belongs to the club. It's not yours. Anything with the club's name on it defaults to the club. Your property, your old lady, if she's got the stuff, guess what? Turn that stuff into. All of that stuff goes in. And here's the thing: if you respect the process, especially if you're a dominant club and you expect for folks to follow your lead, and you're expecting to be the one who can put it out there. Here's the way this stuff is supposed to work. You're going to educate the set. You're going to kind of, set the tone. Here's how things are supposed to go. If you expect for the community, the set, however you want to call it, to follow you, you got to be ready, willing, and able to follow those same exact rules that you've been putting out for however long. So yeah, all of that stuff, it does belong to the club, period.
We appreciate you, man. Hollywood, man. Glad you could join the show, bro. This is an interesting one. We saw a guy burn up his colors online on TikTok. And so I just wanted to do a little education as to who do the colors belong to, what you should properly do when you get rid of the when the club you get rid of the club, you're ready to leave. And I just wanted to get some of you guys' opinions. Some of you guys have actually left clubs before. So we want to do a teaching thing here where we do more than sit around and laugh at somebody or whatever the case. We actually, some of these guys, this whole set is so different these days. These guys aren't getting this education. So here you can have it. Here you can show somebody this video and say, this is what happens, and show it to them before they get their color. So maybe they know. So your take on it, Hollywood. I'm going to give you a statement. The colors belong to the club. It's on you.
Well, first of all, I don't know about these colors and stuff like this, but now I know why Big Bone gets all the ladies, man. He drinking wine, okay? He's sophisticated. He's a sophisticated 1%er. Now I know why they call him Big Bone, okay? He's got the wine, he's dining, he's got all the hotties. That's what I'm talking here, man.
Is it shaken or stirred? Do you like it shaken or stirred, Bone?
when Bone comes up to Chicago, now I got to take him to Moravia's because he's sophisticated instead of the local bar. I got to go get him some Italian wine this time.
It depends on what way. I might need a Cabernet Sauvignon, depending.
What the hell? How do you spell that? What did he say?
Cabernet Sauvignon.
I know what
there
he's
we go.
talking about.
Absolutely nothing.
It's a
Dry wine. Dry wine. That's what he said.
Hey, my daughter calls me a sophisticated gangster.
You know what? I think everybody overthinks all this stuff. Give the club back their stuff, and it is what it is. It's just a new generation to me, man. That's just common knowledge.
It's not so common, I don't think, man. It's not so common.
Not anymore.
All right, let's do this now. What happens when you're kicked out of the club? Is it any different? Go ahead, Cake, and you can also talk about what you wanted to talk about before. So, if you're kicked out of the club, is it any different?
Oh
'Cause
no,
sometimes you get kicked out of the
absolutely
club.
not. When you get kicked out of the club, you wear that ass whooping and you giving them rags. It depends on what you getting kicked out of the club for. What I was trying to say, and I'm glad that both of those came up. We don't know what the situation was with that gentleman. You know what I mean? It's not a big secret. I had left a mighty nation. I'm not gonna put their name out because I still have love for them. I still love them, and I would die one of them, regardless of what club that I went to. I'm president now. But I will say, in certain situations, you can push a man to that level. And he got to be willing to stand on what he just did. Because at the time when I left my club, I was in great standings. But I just didn't want to heed to the power structure at B. I was not going to stand on their floor. But the things that I have done for this club, the sacrifices that I have made for this club, when you start bringing the club into my home life and my survival of my family, now you're starting to overstep your bounds now. And sometimes you can push a man to actually do that. Now, do I agree with it? No, but I can understand in certain situations. So we don't know what actually press for that. He might be doing that to make a statement that he's ready to stand on that and he want the club to do something about it. So that's how we have to kind of look at it.
Right. Yeah, because if you in certain clubs, if you do make that particular stand, there are going to be some repercussions, and
Yes.
you be well ready for those repercussions. And I think Bone said it the best when he said you got to love the club beyond you got to love the club in the process beyond the particular situation. But sometimes you can't. For instance, like if the president was screwing your girl, and you had and I've seen it, and you had a situation where the club didn't back you, so now you got a problem, and you might be burning those rags up to make a statement.
Yes.
So yeah, we can't misunderstand statements. Dollar, is there a
Yes,
difference
sir.
if you get kicked out of the club? What's been your experience with that?
Oh, if you kicked out of the club, you giving no colors up. It's you're not in good standings. Matter of fact, if you leave the club in good standings and you don't have enough years in, 5 years or more, you got to get the colors up. So say somebody come, they only in the club a year and a half, 2 years, and they decide to leave, but they leave in good standings. Well, then they still have to give the colors up. In the Dragons, you can only keep your colors if you've been in the club 5 years or more, and you leave in good standings, you're able to keep them. If you retire, you're able to keep them. I wanted to add something. In our club, we're not even allowed to make T-shirts. For instance, like I know some clubs, like they'll say have a party or they'll be having a function and somebody will go out and make a nice T-shirt and everybody will have that T-shirt on. Well, in our club, we have to get anything like that approved. So no one can go make a dragon T-shirt. No one can go make a dragon patch, this hat I got on has to be approved. And
Right.
and we all wear the same hat. So if somebody came in with a different hat that the font was different or the colors was different or it looked different, it would get taken because the Dragons feel like that anything that you do, that you wear, that you put on it represents the club, and anything that we do has to get approved first. Like sometimes we see some shirts and be like, oh, those are some real slick shirts. But we can't go get one made. We have to bring it to the table, bring it to the board. And if one person gets one made, that means the whole club will get one. And so it kind of goes, to the colors. You just, passing colors out. And if you're not in good standing, you're gonna lose them. If you don't have enough time in, you'll totally lose them as well. Yes, they will get taken.
So, Danny, what happens if you get kicked out? What do you have to say?
If you get kicked out, yeah, we coming to get them colors, homie. Or if you're a man about it and we kick you out right at church, either way, you giving up your colors. One thing I did want to say, I don't know if it was Big Bone or Cake that had said it. I forget which one of you guys, or maybe both. Um, if you're in a situation with your club, if you're in a national club or a multi-chapter club, and you feel some type of way about your chapter pisses you off, and you're like, screw this, I'm done, I'm leaving. Don't blame the whole nation for that chapter, or your chapter president, or whatever. And I personally fought with that myself. At first I was like, screw everybody. And after I walked out, and then I sat down and I thought about it, and I said, you know what, that patch, that brotherhood, that whole nation didn't do anything wrong to me. They were nothing but good to me. It was just a couple individuals in a certain chapter that pissed me off, and it was what it was. So definitely always keep that in mind when you're stepping away from a club. Check out your options too. You know what I mean? I mean, you might be able to transfer to a different chapter and be a lot happier. Or if you're going to step away, don't blame the whole club, man, because it ain't the whole club. You got to remember those good brothers that you met at different parties in different states and had a great time with. Those guys will still take you in and love you and give you a hug even after you quit sometimes. So always keep that in mind, man. It's not the whole nation's fault, man. It's whoever did you wrong, or brought you to be all up in your feelings. It's that individual or that whole chapter. It ain't the whole club.
I appreciate that, man. Bone, I want to throw this question at you and add a little bit of a kicker to it. What happens if you get kicked out? And also, what about tattoos?
Okay. Well, two things. Let me start with, damn it, Danny. Danny D'Lo just made some good fucking points, and and I hate, I don't want to say it because I was mad at you. Not mad now. Was mad at you, but damn it, man, you said some good stuff. Because you hit the nail in the head a minute ago, because that's literally just it. There's options, because you had a falling out with your chapter, man. Yeah, there's, just because you step away from that chapter does not necessarily mean that you have to step away from your nation. There's options. There's other chapters.
Yeah.
There's a fall back for a minute. I'll come back in a year. You got a number of different options that can be considered, that don't include burning your freaking rags. That don't include that. But anyway, because that's crazy. But to answer your question, Dragon. So yeah, so you step away. And if I understood it properly, hey, ask your question again, Black Dragon.
What about tattoos? What about club tattoos? Because we
yeah. So club tattoos.
Sons of Anarchy show.
Oh boy, here we go. We're gonna torch him off with a torch, and we're gonna handcuff you down. And I heard all that bullshit on TikTok, man.
Let me tell you, and while I absolutely roast Sons of Anarchy, I do. But one thing they were, God damn it, this is twice now. So one thing that I hate to say, one thing that they did kind of sort of get right is they're like, fire a knife. I heard that 20 times before I ever even seen that TV show. So that's not a joke. The thing is that
no.
So with a number of different clubs, it works like this. First of all, Now, and I'm saying, here I go again. Let me piss off everybody who ain't us. But with real clubs, first of all, in order to put that ink on, you just can't be, oh, I've been a member for 5 freaking minutes, so let me go and slap some ink
Yeah.
on. It don't work like that. You have to earn it. Depending on what we're talking about, you have to earn it. There has to be a certain time and a certain amount of dedication that was exhibited in order to earn that tattoo, and even certain patches, right?
Yep.
So that's thing number one. Thing number two, if it comes to pass that for whatever reason you're stepping away from the club, you're kicked out of the club, uh, and whatever variation of it, there's typically, most clubs have a procedure or a protocol that addresses that subject. So I'm going to do like the little blanket kind of a situation. Let's say so and so is out bad and they've got some ink. So in a lot of clubs, I'm not being specific, but in a lot of clubs, you have a certain period of time in which you're advised that, hey, that's got to go. And by go, that means you have the option all on your own, like as a grown ass man, you get to cover that up, or nowadays you can go and get it lasered off, or you can, but what you can't do is say, I'm going to wear a long t-shirt for a long sleeve shirt for the rest of my life. That's not an option. But you have to have it removed or covered up in most circumstances with a lot of different clubs. But let's take it a step further. Let's just say, for whatever reason, you just say, I'm not going to do it because because you're a badass, you're a tough guy, whatever. So you're not going to do it. So then we default to that TV show. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Yes, sir.
please can I get on this one here? Please can I have on this one?
Hollywood, sir.
Well, two things. It all depends what area of the country you're in as far as the tattoos. I know here up in the Midwest, you got to date them if you leave on good standing. If you're out on bad standing, you got to cover them up. And second, I can't rectify your statement with, well, if you're thrown out bad and the president was sleeping with your wife, making a statement like that. If you're actually a man, you'd go into the meeting, put your money on the bar, and take him outside and whoop his ass, and then give the colors.
That part.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because I can't see, when I'm doing my stuff on TikTok, I'll give some protocol advice from the 1990s way of thinking, not today, because I'm confused about today's stuff. It's like everybody
We all are.
They do. They overthink everything. It's like, oh, you got to do this, this, and this. Well, you're out bad. Well, there was only 3 things that got you thrown out bad back then, and that was shooting a needle, stealing money, you're sleeping with somebody's old lady. That was it.
Don't forget snitching.
Well, the same thing. Yeah, snitching. 4. But for somebody sleeping with your old lady and you're going to make a statement of just burning colors, I don't get that. But yeah, here in the Midwest, if you're out on good, you date your tattoos. If you're out on bad, take them off.
Right.
Well,
I've covered up a lot of tattoos in my time when I was a tattoo artist. As a matter of fact, I had one homie, man. He got thrown out of his club out on bad because he was sleeping with the president's daughter. And he was a great guy, good brother of mine, but a horrible club guy. And he got thrown out on bad. And this dude called me up at 3:00 in the morning. He's like, "Bro, I gotta have this covered up right now. I have to have it covered up right now." And I'm like, "All right, come over to the crib, man." So we just boxed it up. Now he's got a big black coffin on his arm.
But anyway, BB, I got to head over to the other show. One thing
me too.
Tell Bones is, now that I know you drink wine, when you come to Chicago, we having some MP 2020, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sophisticated, man.
I will partake.
We'll be off shortly, so you guys can trans over to Hollywood show. What's the show called tonight, Hollywood?
I have no idea.
I know we're going to be talking about the OMC thing. That's what we're talking about doing.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say that because that hits personal to me about that tattoo.
Hold on one sec. Hollywood, let you out of here, man. You guys take care. See you tomorrow.
I got to roll.
See you later, Danny. You guys take
Peace
care.
Out. Hey,
right,
I just want to say real quick, Big Bone, I'm glad you ain't mad at me. Not that I really cared you were mad at me, but I'm glad you ain't mad at me no more, home.
He was
I'm
glad
out,
to have
guys.
control on himself.
Okay, Kate, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to say something about that tattoo issue. You know what I mean? I have dedicated myself, blood, sweat, and tears to my club. And I carry my tattoo from my old club because I've addressed to you that, once I became this member, I was going to die this member. And I didn't go out bad. It was just the powers that be felt like they wanted to restructure things and said if I could do it better to go ahead and do it my way. So I did it my way. And I invite them to come and get this. You know what I mean? I didn't put it. This president never bust a grape in his fucking life. So how are you going to tell me to remove something that I've earned? It's never going to happen. Now, if this club wants to come and get it, I'll stand on it. Come and get it. You just don't draw back enough. So as far as when people are telling you that you have to remove your tattoos and things like that, a lot of times with the power at B kind of structure you to do certain things that you don't agree on. I just don't comprehend and nor do I follow. I would never remove my tattoo of this mighty nation that I once belonged to. One of them gonna have to come and get the whole arm. They're not gonna ink anything up or burn anything off of me.
Well, yeah, that's part of making that statement. And obviously, you're prepared to stand on it. And it's between you and those folks what's going
Right,
on with that.
right.
So,
But what I was saying about that, we don't know what that gentleman had went through because it might have been something really, really bad, and that his club didn't stand on it. That hurt him to the point where he made a irrational decision. Is what I'm saying. I don't agree with what he did, but we don't know why he did it. He might have been trying to make a statement for him to stand on it. You
but
know
yeah,
what I
I
mean?
kind of like what Hollywood said. I mean, from the '90s eras where he comes from, and from the old school era where a lot of us come from. I was a national president of a motorcycle club. I've had my ass burnt up and my feelings hurt and my heart broken by the club. But in my club, you're going to do a number of years before you even put a tattoo on. You can't keep a patch unless you are retired. In my club, that's 10 years, and or if you're a lifer in my club, that's 20 years. So there's firm standards here, and I never reached a point where I have said "f you." Well, I just I'm more towards the thing where, like what Hollywood said, and Bone, the process uh, must be respected. The process must be respected, and um, but I can't say never. I don't know what you went through. I can't say never.
Right.
I can just say it hasn't happened yet. Um, but we're all men. We have our points, our sticking points, and we can reach a point and be pushed over the top and have to do something crazy. Because I've seen guys, take it to the whole next level and shoot somebody in a club meeting. So,
Right. Right.
uh, one thing clubs need to be aware of is how you treating grown folks, because uh, we uh, uh, we have grown folk uh, there in the club that we're dealing with, and talking to grown folks crazy, treating grown folks crazy. You're a president and you're sleeping with a club brother's wife. These are things that can get you killed. They can get a whole
Right.
club blown up. So we
Right.
like to be on the side of the club, but we got to also be on the side of the people. What do you think about that, Dollar? The members.
And give me the question again, Dragon.
So the clubs need to understand that we ask a lot. We tend to look towards club is right and doing what's right for the club, but the club has to be vice versa. It's got to treat the members correctly as well. I believe that's important. What do you think?
Very, very, very important because first of all, we are men first, and like they gotta. We always like to say that uh, the club we chose the club didn't choose us. So first of all, you need to make sure that what you're becoming a part of is something that you can handle, because it's not easy. And I know these gentlemen understand it's not easy being in these clubs. It could be expensive, it could be time consuming. A lot of men, a lot of families been broken apart because of these clubs.
Yeah.
So as a man, when you giving your all to something, you definitely want to be respected. Like and so the club has a huge part in that. Everyone is a man. Like the gentleman we're talking about, having sex with the presidents, having sex with people's wives and shit like that, stuff like that. Excuse me. That's just not tolerated. Like, and matter of fact, it made me think of um, Toby Jean when he's, how a lot of clubs have social clubs attached to their MC clubs. Well,
Mhm.
we don't have one of those. And the reason is because Toby said that he created this club to get away from his wife, to get away from the women, something that the fellas could do together. So he said when you add them social clubs, you just add a bunch of problems because now you got women hanging around, and just what you said, everybody's screwing the same girl, and now it's an issue. So we don't even have social clubs and things like that. But yes, you have to be respected by the club because we're men and we like me, man. I love being a dragon. I love this. Like they saying, if it's something that you care enough about, wholeheartedly about, ain't no way you gonna run out there and burn up your colors or do nothing to disrespect the colors because 9 times out of 10, the club didn't do anything to you, like the gentleman said. A single individual may have done something to you. So you need to address that situation with that individual. And you have to if the club is not disrespecting, if the club is not respecting you as a man, the president's doing things like sleeping with your woman and stuff like that, then I'd tell it out of there. I wouldn't have to burn nothing up. I'd gladly hand them back. I'd go in there. On the first thing smoking, they could have them. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to be a part of something that I love, and I got to be a part of something where I'm respected.
Right.
Well, Dollar, the thing about what's going on with the dragon, I had a wonderful encounter with the dragons when I was on my nomadic run. You know what I mean? The only thing that's different about them is that brotherly love. Like you
Right.
said, there's only one chapter, and y'all got like 75 members to this one chapter, but I know all 75 of these people. You
Right,
understand what I'm saying?
right.
When my dealings with the cast, you know what I mean? You got different skirmishes going different places, and I'm like chilling and dancing with these motherfuckers, and next thing you know, you got other problems going on for people that you don't know. So
Right.
when you feel like your club is not supporting you and things like that, or that you got personal beef going on, you have people doing dumb shit.
Mhm.
That's point blank period. You know what I mean? It's point blank period. So what you saying about people giving up their colors and stuff like that? Yeah, if you go out bad, yeah. But sometimes a person, like in my former organization, pussy power and protection was everything, and he ruled upon that. You understand what I'm saying? I appreciate that. And it makes you make a bad decision. You'll be in this club for 15, 20 years, and the next thing you know, the change of guards mean the change of principle. And that hurts you. That takes something away from you because you're putting your life on the line for this. You're putting your freedom on the line for this. You got enemies that you don't even know. You understand what I'm saying? So when the club does not support you or the club does something that hurts you so bad, you'll get motherfuckers that has a prospect that's following the bozo. You know what I mean? That's following the leadership. Now you got an issue within the club and you never even knew that you had it. So a lot of times that's why people act out towards the club instead of taking it to the floor. They feel like, well, if I go to the floor, they're gonna try to put their hands on me. And men can't wear ass whoopings, and men aren't gonna try to wear no ass whoopings without giving one back or taking somebody's life. So that's the reason why a lot of shit is going on the way it is.
But Cake, if I can jump in there,
Yeah,
while I agree with you 100%, at the same exact time, and this is where the I don't know, the dichotomy comes in, is that knowing that that's the case, knowing that this is an outlaw lifestyle. If you feel like, hey, you're not ready to get it as good as you give it,
You
don't
got
put that shit on your back. Don't come here because this is part of what we do. So
Yeah.
God forbid, I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you. I'm just saying though, is that if it comes down to God forbid, because here's the thing, like we say, everybody who comes through that door with that thing on their back, hey, he was a man first. That's why we fuck with him. He's a man first. And if you don't conduct yourself like a man, carry yourself like a man, and do man related things, and what's a man gonna do? A man gonna, hey, if that's my old lady and you putting it to her, hey, she's a hoe. Drop her like a bad habit. That's just a sidebar. But if it happens, handle your business. Handle your business. And here's the thing: if you ain't ready to get it in whenever you need to, maybe this ain't for you anyway. But you need to know that on day one. That's a day one type thing.
Yeah, but see,
So, like you said, I agree with you.
when
But
you join these clubs, though, you military, I'm military, black is military. When we join these clubs, a lot of times these people are joining these clubs because, first of all, I'm also a Freemason. You're looking for that brotherhood. You're looking for that same military structure and
yeah,
camaraderie. And when you enter into these clubs, a lot of times it's not about that. You know what
yeah,
I mean? When you like my chapter up here for the Renegades, it was designed off a military chapter. Now, if we didn't care about anybody else's chapter, to join this chapter or this charter, you had to be military because we didn't want to deal with the damn the bullshit. You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying? So when you go into all of these different places and you expecting this love and this camaraderie and you don't get it, it hurts. It hurts.
yeah. No, hey, look, that part, I understand that because I've seen that over a great number of years. When I first, all right, I'll say this real quick. Like when I first got out of the Marine Corps, I was like had PTSD against civilians because I didn't understand civilians. I didn't.
You didn't
There was
understand
no,
you.
you know what I'm saying? There was no what we call in the Marine Corps. There was no esprit de corps. You couldn't trust these folks. They didn't get down the way that we did. If something went down, I didn't know if the guy to my left or my right was with me or not. Whether he was going to break and run or whether you didn't know. So that means a lot. I understand what you're saying, and that's why so many military people, and so many military people, Masons, people from certain fraternal orders, Masonic organizations, they gravitate toward the MC because our structure is very similar to what we experience in the Marine Corps. So a lot of, or in the military. So a lot of times we're looking and expecting to see that same exact brotherhood that you was talking about. We're expecting to see it. So when we don't, but the thing we got to remember is we get a little mix of that. We don't have all people who were stationed with you at Fort so and so or camp such and such, right? So now you got to mix all that in together, and guess what? And maybe that same ideology that we had in the military or in your fraternal organization, it don't exactly always exist in the MC. But now
Right.
us old heads who've been around for a minute, it's our job. That means you, Dollar, Dragon, myself. It's our job to make sure that we instill in our MCs and in the MC culture. We got to carry the torch. We have to make sure that these young bucks, they embrace that ideology. And guess what? And look, here's part two. If they don't get it, and if they won't embrace the respect, the ideology, and the tradition of what we do, then they can kick rocks too.
Yeah.
I want to interject. I would not. I got 15 years as a dragon. I would not have 6 months as a dragon if it was not for the structure and the discipline of the club. That's actually one of the most attractive things to me about my club because I've been to several clubs and I'll hear people make comments like, man, we wish our club was like y'all's. You know, the way y'all got rules and y'all got structure. And in this club they let people do anything. They can do anything. And when I hear that, I understand what they're saying because if it was not, and I've never been in the military, but one thing the gentleman said is this: I was looking for a brotherhood. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I grew up in Detroit, so when I came to California, I came out here on a Greyhound bus. I didn't know nobody. I didn't have no family out here, no friends. I just jumped on the Greyhound and ended up in Oakland, California, 23 years ago. And so I didn't grow up here. I didn't I didn't go to Castlemont Skyline or nothing like that. I didn't hang out on 98th at my friend's auntie's house or nothing. I knew no one. So when I became a dragon, that was the main thing that I found. I finally found some brothers. I finally found a group of individuals, and we had the same thing in common. We were men, and we all liked riding motorcycles. And it's the structure and it's the discipline is why the Dragons are here 63 years later. I don't think Toby Jean would have ever imagined that 63 years ago when he started this club that we would be the club that we are today, and so I totally agree. If it's no structure, if it's no discipline, I would run. I would run from that because it's a powder keg and you're just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got to get out of here. We got an hour in. So first thing I want to do before we go, because I want to get a little bit on your run, Dollar Bill. Dollar Bill. I keep saying Dollar Bill. Dollar. I want to get a run. Funny, I know a Dollar Bill out here. You know a Two Bone. So that's why I keep doing that. So forgive me, but Dollar, I want to get some information about your run and the East Bay Dragons Legacy Run, the second annual Legacy Run. Tell us a little bit about it.
And first, I'd like to say thank you, Dragon, for showing us such hospitality last year when we came. It was a pleasure meeting you. It was a pleasure being in your house. You treated us like, with respect. You helped us fix our bikes. You made us feel at home, and actually you made an impression on us. Like when we left, we love you. You made an impression on us, Dragon, and we want to let you know that first. First of all, and the run was last year is our first run, the first legacy run. We were able to meet Black Dragon, but the run is for a run that we came up with because we had started losing a lot of members. A lot of our members were dying. They're older, and we would hear all of these stories about when the Dragons were younger, they did this, and people all across the country knew who the Dragons was. So we felt like that it was time for us as the younger generation of Dragons to get on our bikes and get out here and ride cross country, coast to coast, and shake hands and meet people and hug people, which is how we got to meet Black Dragon. And so that's the run is in honor of everyone that we've lost, but it's also to give us a chance to meet the other clubs, to see the other people, for them to see us and see that we really do exist. We were in Atlanta and some guys said, man, we thought you guys didn't even exist. Like we thought you guys were like a myth or something, so we want people to know we do exist, and we want to continue to carry the legacy and carry the torch that our founders and the presidents and vice presidents and everyone set before us, and that's what this run is about. It's about us getting out here, meeting people, shaking hands, and keeping this motorcycle world tight knit. And also this year we will be going to Yonkers, New York. We'll be leaving Oakland, California. It's a 2-week run, so this run is not for everybody. It's 2 weeks. We'll leave Oakland. We will end in Yonkers, New York, which we're going to break bread with the oldest motorcycle club in existence on record, Yonkers MC. And so we're going to go there. We're going to stop along the way in Washington, D.C. at the White House or the African American Museum. We'll stop at the Harley Davidson Museum as well, and we'll swing down through New York, and we'll end back in Fresno, California, which is if you guys are not from California, every year we have a run in Fresno. It's called a halfway run. And pretty much what that means is that people from LA drive 3 hours one way to Fresno. Everybody from the Bay Area drive 3 hours one way, and we all meet in Fresno. And it's called the halfway run. So the run will start at the East Bay Dragon Clubhouse, April 23rd. It will end May 8th at the Fresno halfway run. This is our second year doing this, and as Black Dragon knows, last year we had a nice turnout. It was about 20 or 30 of us, about between 25 and 30 of us riding, and all along the way, clubs would come and meet us and ride with us and carry us on to the next state or the next city or whatever. It was a beautiful thing. It was something that that I was so glad that we did, because it made me realize how important it is for us to just get out here and ride our bikes and shake hands and meet different people. And so that's the legacy run in a nutshell.
So, y'all gonna be cold as hell riding in New York in April. Now, I'm just gonna let
Yeah,
you know.
April. Well, we go in the last week of April, April 23rd.
Give a
And
damn.
That's not
I
true. That's
I
not
bought a
true.
suit.
It's not cold up here in April.
Shit.
Hey,
Don't believe that, man.
hey, it can't be no worse than that rain in Atlanta.
That part.
Listen, man, there's something that's going on in your background that's about to make me cry. I haven't been in your clubhouse in 20 years, and I'm looking at your club. That's your clubhouse. I know that.
This is the clubhouse.
Man,
We own this clubhouse since 1977. So
man.
the clubhouse is paid for, and it goes to the last living dragon. And this is the East Bay Dragons clubhouse here.
Doesn't it have like, it takes up a whole block, your clubhouse, right? And
yes,
don't
it's
y'all have like
upstairs.
apartment buildings and stuff in it or something?
We got bedrooms upstairs. We got showers, lockers. We got rooms in the back. If you come, we got a kitchen. If you come and you hey, something happened, you got kicked out the house that night, you come here, go upstairs and go to bed, go to sleep. Take you a shower, cook you something to eat. And this is like I say, we owned this since 1977. And it goes to the last living dragon, which means that it'll probably never go, because we know that the dragons will go on and on and on.
This does that club no justice. They got like a wooden bar there. I'm just remembering back from like 20 years ago. It is an amazing place to be. It takes up an entire
here's the bar
block, man. It takes up an entire block, man. It is.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember that place, man. It was something else when I was there. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm actually looking at the East Bay Dragons clubhouse, man. And I tell you something, it's crazy because I've tried to pattern my clubhouses after this. I have a little, my own personal clubhouse, the Dragon's Lair. I got my own little compound now. That came from y'all, man. Just watching y'all, man. Y'all were big brothers to us all out here, man. Love y'all to death, brother. Love y'all.
Hey, Dragon, I wanted to ask you a question.
What's that?
Did the Dragons have anything to do with your name? I've always wondered that.
No, I got my name.
I know the answer.
From my martial arts world.
Okay.
I'm a sitting 8th degree black belt, and I was I got my name when I was fighting overseas, and it was rumored that I fought like a black dragon. So it was a little racist too, by the way, because folks was not happy with me winning, and so that's how Black Dragon came. And then it stuck in the club. There was a sign outside of our clubhouse that's no longer there, but it was about 9 feet tall. And when I was prospecting, I used to have this thing on my tag that said Rokudan, which at that time it meant 6th degree black belt. So one of the club brothers thought I was a prospect. He thought he was going to punk me, and he called me Roku Pussy. And he said it about 3 or 4 times. I was a prospect. I wanted to get in, so I didn't say nothing. One day he said it, and it pissed me off. I walked outside and kicked that sign 9 feet tall. I said, tat. And that was the end of the Roku Pussy stuff. And then after that, they started calling me Black Dragon. So when I went to the East Bay Dragons, I was really kind of mad because I was like, wow, if I had joined that club, it would have been matched my dragon name. But oh my goodness. But when the first time, and we had the baddest club in San Diego, the baddest clubhouse in San Diego. I mean, it was something. We had the only clubhouse in San Diego on the black set for 35 years or so. But when I went to the East Bay Dragons clubhouse, my mouth hit the floor. I was like, this is something else, man. It was.
Yeah, this is an outside view. You can't, like you say, the camera don't do justice, but it's the garage.
That's the side of the road.
You see it goes the whole block.
See, that's the side right there that they rope off, and they take that whole street. Oh, hold on, I got
this is international here. Anybody know anything about East Oakland? This This is East Oakland. This is East's, and this is the clubhouse.
Oh man, wait a minute. Your video froze. Oh man, come on. Ah,
Hey, the Dragons ain't paid they Wi-Fi. They own the building with no Wi-Fi.
you guys, this motorcycle club takes up a city block, man. It's freaking crazy.
Remember that.
I'm so excited just seeing it. I haven't seen it in so long, and they are in the toughest neighborhood you want to see, bro. My first time there, cats was shooting up the whole neighborhood, and folks was walking down the street like, oh hum, oh hum, and nothing's gonna stop our business today. It was something else.
Yeah.
For some reason, man, your video went out. I'm so sorry, man. I still hear you, but your video froze, and that just sucks, man. Because this
I
is
see him.
a treat to see this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful clubhouse that is owned. I mean, we need to do a whole video about motorcycle clubs owning their clubhouses. We could do a whole video about that. Appreciate that.
Oh God. Hey, you remember who you had on the show last time that was owning their own clubhouse?
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, Cake 1%er, we appreciate you, man.
I
Much
appreciate
love.
it so much. Thank you.
Bone, you had something?
Yeah, just a couple of things. First of all, man, I hate to jump on the damn bandwagon, but I got to keep it 100, man. So, Dollar, I'm going to preach to the choir. East Bay Dragons I'm a student. I am a student of MC culture and what we call MIC culture, right? MC culture, this lifestyle, this thing that we do. I've studied it for a lot of years. And I always talk about, hey, if I'm the smartest biker in the room, then I need to find me a different room to get in because I still need to learn stuff, right? And one thing that is very consistent is the tales and the lore of East Bay Dragons. I don't give a damn whether you white, black, or freaking plaid. Everybody knows about what the East Bay Dragons did, how y'all got started, and how y'all do this thing. And my club, I love my club. Like I feel like we walk on water. But I tell you what, we got mad love and respect for East Bay Dragons, and that's a fact. And look, and so to have the opportunity to share the stage with you, as it were, is a good thing, man. And I really enjoyed taking a look at the clubhouse and seeing what y'all do. A number of my brothers, when my brothers come to your clubhouse, oh, we gonna hear about it. We gonna see about it. They're gonna put it out there, and we really appreciate that, man. So much respect for you for being with, and you left Detroit, which is where my folks come from. You left
Right.
Detroit and went to California. I've kind of felt some kind of about that.
I grew up around the corner from the Outcast Clubhouse.
Right on. No,
matter of fact, I think the Outcast may have something to do with me riding bikes because as a little kid, their clubhouse was right around the corner. And at night, when they would leave the parties, I could look out my back window and see all the bikes going up and down the street. Right. And that was my first fascination with motorcycles was the Outcast in Detroit.
Man, that's what's up. Yeah, Detroit is mother. The part two is, I'll say this real quick. So I tried to throw out an olive branch to Danny D'Lo, and he wanted to act a fool. So I rescind my previous statement in the sense that I'm back to being mad at his ass because I tried to be and he shit all over it. So take that one, and we'll do that another time. Hey, y'all saw me. I tried to be nice, but some folks, I think a lot of what I got today is the history. We talk about this all the time: the history, the tradition, and the protocol. Those of us that are on this stage right now, we get that. Some other cats don't, but neither here nor there. The thing is like this: I look at when I talk to some of these old heads and what we call the gray beards and stuff. I listen to what they have to say what they have to say about whatever they have to say. I listen to them, and even on those rare occasions where I don't agree with everything they say, at the very least, I'm respectful about it. But that's the difference between people that truly appreciate this MC lifestyle. Because people who know what this thing is about, they would actually understand it's about love and respect. Some people say jailhouse rules because respect is everything, right? You got to give it to get it. That's what I do. Everybody don't do it that way, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Um, Dollar, let's is that book still available, or is it unavailable now?
No, it's available.
Okay, tell the folks about the book, please.
Well, the Dragons, we have a book that it was written years ago. It's called Soul on Bikes, and it's a story about Toby Jean, our president, rest in peace, and how he and his brothers started the East Bay Dragons. The East Bay Dragons started off as a car club in 1957, and then it converted to a motorcycle club in '59 because the prayers always told us that the wife needed the car and they only had one of them, so they all went out and got motorcycles, and then it started from there. So it details, our ups and downs. It details the Dragons and the connection with the Black Panthers in the '60s and the '70s, as well as the crack epidemic of the '80s. And it'll even, at one point the press tells that the crack epidemic affected the Dragons so much, either the club members were on drugs or they were selling drugs, to the point where they completely shut the whole clubhouse down. For like 3 months, the clubhouse was closed. You couldn't even come in here because of the epidemic of the '80s. So it details that. The forward is written by Sonny Barger. We all know who he is, and we are the Hells Angels. We have a mutual respect also with the Hells Angels, because our president Toby Jean grew up with Sonny Barger, and actually some people say that Sonny Barger is the one that gave Prez the idea to go from cars to motorcycles. And so it's the book is out. It's called Soul on Bikes. Now the thing is, if you try to order the book on the internet, the books are like $600 and $700, $500 and $600 and $700 on the internet.
Yes.
So you got to call us. We sell them for $30. But some people know that, the book, we don't always have them. We'll sell out of them. And when we sell out of them, people try to sell them. So don't go buy one for $4 or $5 or $300. Get in touch with Dollar or Dragon, and we'll get your email or something, and we'll send you out one right here. It's called Soul on Bikes, the story of the East Bay Dragons, told by Toby Jean Livingston.
Soul on Bikes, the story of East Bay Dragon. And yeah, if you give me a shout or whatever, I'll make sure you get. Oh, so who's doing that? That's you. So if you give me that information, or if you holler at me, I'll make sure to get his information, and I'll put his phone number in the description of this video, and then that way it'll be where you guys can get it. Much love to you, man. We will see you on the trip. Your phone is your audio screwing up now, so we'll see you on the trip, brother. And we much love for you. Dollar's gone. Much
Well,
love to Dollar.
hey, if I can, let me throw out my brand, because somebody told me last week I said the wrong stuff, or the week before last. On Instagram, it's a big _bone _OFFO, which they corrected me. So Big Bone OFFO is Instagram. On Facebook is Bone OFFO, and the email is bone.outcast@gmail.com, because apparently folks could not find me and I lied to the whole everybody. Anyway, that's all I had.
So that's your Instagram, and that is your email.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's
And
it.
okay, we got you.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Much love, man. Take care. Cake, 1%er. Love you, man.
Brother, thank
Take
you
care.
so much.
We'll see y'all next week.
All right, brother.
Okay, so what we've learned, I hope, is that the colors belong to the club. No matter what happens, you should try to give them back. You didn't get them from a fire pit. You didn't get them bunched up and crushed up. You didn't get them destroyed. We didn't have to chase you. We didn't have to have a shootout or a fight for you to get them. So why should we have to have that for you to give them back? Even though you're pissed off, you're mad, and your feelings are hurt. We get it. But try to follow the process. Try to do what you can. This is an education piece so that you know. The colors belong to the club. You're only renting them. You're leasing them for a time, and then after that time is up, you're giving them back. And and the only times you can keep the colors is if we bury you in them, or if you retire or you become a lifer, and there are rules to that. And once you do those things, man, we're glad for you to keep your colors forever. Put in your 10 years, become a retired person, die, and let us bury you in them, or become a lifer. Put your 20 in, or whatever it is that your club demands for lifers. Hey, look, you can reach me on Twitter, JBunchII, on Facebook. Follow me on Black Dragon Biker. PayPal, if you want to donate to the channel, we love your donations. JBunchII stands for John Bunch II at AOL.com. That's my PayPal if you want to donate there. If you want to donate to Cash App, $Biker Prez, we appreciate your donations. If you want to donate to our Patreon, do a monthly donation, it's Black Dragon National President. You can get my gear at blackdragonsgear.com. Online newspaper is bikerliberty.com. We got a new writer from South Africa coming in. Oh my goodness, the South African biker set is crazy. The Dragon's Lair, Lair, the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos is our podcast that we're podcasting on right now. Follow me on TikTok. On TikTok, it's Black Dragon Biker TV. On Instagram, it's Black Dragon Biker TV. Those are all the ways that you can get a hold of me. Thank you for hanging out with us for an hour and a half. Really appreciate you. Much love, much respect. Go on over there and check out Hollywood. Man, we had a great number of people. Please like and share and subscribe if you would. Please go hit the like button right now. That helps the algorithm and helps the video get out to people. So if you wouldn't mind, please, for me, Black Dragon, hitting the like button, I'd appreciate that. The share button to share to people that you know. Send it to 2 or 3 people that you know right now while you're thinking about it. Also, follow me if you're not following. And when you hit that follow button, hit the notification bell on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and on Instagram and on TikTok. We would absolutely appreciate that. And the final thing is, have a productive day. Have a productive night. Learn how to treat each other like individual pieces of solid gold. The colors belong to the club. Clubs are made up of people, and people can be nasty and mean. And I guarantee you, I promise you, the club will break your heart. How you recover, we all recover differently. But remember, when we gave you those colors, you loved us. Give them back. Do it the right way. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny, and make sure to get the book.
Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.